let's talk about Libra season. So Libra is one of the more difficult signs to understand because it's represented by the scales. This is the only sign that is not symbolically linked to an animal or a person or a mythic being. So we look at these scales and we conclude that this is a sign of weighing and measuring, a sign that is focused on establishing equilibrium, and we wouldn't be wrong. However, there is more to the sign, especially on the metaphysical or spiritual level. Do hit that like button if you are a Libra or if you have planets in Libra. Hi, I'm Yolanda. This is my Astrology and Tarot channel where I also speak about spiritual matters and manifestation. The journey through the zodiac is a journey of self-discovery. Each sign offers unique insights. For example, Leo is ruled by the sun and encourages us to shine brightly, yet reminds us to avoid arrogance. Virgo emphasizes discernment, but teaches us about humility while also engaging in acts of service. Libra asks for balance in relationships, yes, but also invites reflection and introspection. We are now in Libra season because the sun is traveling through the sign of Libra, and it's important to know that the sun is in fall in Libra because he is opposite the sign of his exaltation. Aries is the sign where the sun is exalted and very happy. Now the sun in Libra loses his vitality because we are entering the darker months of the year. In other words, we've entered the more feminine part of the year where feminine energy dominates. And feminine energy is associated with qualities like stillness and reflection and cocooning and inner downward movement and nurturing. It's again this dark time of the year. Now, although there is this feminine energy prevailing, Libra is actually a masculine sign. And so at this time, we feel like we have to activate something or we have to assert ourselves. But do remember that this feminine energy is at play. And it's also doubled up by the fact that Venus rules Libra. And Venus is a feminine planet. So Libra is feminine it's feminine but also masculine, and can you see that it honors both sides? And that's what we're called to do. We have to honor both energies if we want to exist in a state of balance, or if we want to establish equilibrium. Libra knows that masculine assertiveness must be tempered with acts of kindness, or modified by the feminine energy, acts of kindness, acts of compassion and softness. So this is how we must move through the season. We must operate with an awareness that we hold within us masculine and feminine energies, and that for harmony to exist both within ourselves and outside ourselves, we have to balance out the feminine and the masculine. We must think before we act. We must be assertive but also considerate, and you can and should focus on your needs and wants, but also respect others' feelings. Now Saturn is exalted in Libra, and this too serves to tell us that maintaining boundaries is a requirement for harmony in relationships. So you have to communicate your thoughts and feelings in a clear and acceptable manner, but only after reflection. You have to operate from a place of stillness. I always see Libra as the still point in the year, this interlude, this point where we it again represented by the autumnal or the autumn equinox. It's an interlude, a space that we're supposed to just take a breath before we jump in, right? Before we continue, take a breath. So operating from a place of stillness is imperative during the season. Remember that the sign opposite Libra is Aries, where the ego comes into being and can act impulsively and selfishly. Libra does neither. I'm not saying that Libra is perfect. I'm not saying that all Librans don't act impulsively or selfishly. I'm just saying that Libra does exist more for relationships and establishing harmony. And Librans want to, or they believe that they are respecting the needs and the feelings of others because they have this deep desire to be in relationship, joining up with others in unity, right? Librans are famous for being indecisive. And if you live with any Librans like I do, or if you've spent a lot of time with Librans, you will know that this is true. Present a Libran with options and they experience stress. However, there is a deeper spiritual truth or law at play here that we all get to experience during Libra season. At the start of the season, we face choices. Something inevitably comes up that forces us to weigh up our options. It is during the season that we must come to understand the principle of conviction. And I'm going to speak more about conviction now, but I just want you to know that right now I am recording this while the Sun in Libra is trine Pluto in Aquarius. And this is very transformative power. This intensely transformative power is at play this week. So I will hope that you are making decisions, or that you're making decisions that you know are going to transform your life for the best, or that you're aiming in that direction, that you're really coming from this place of conviction where you believe, you have this deep trust, this deep self-knowing and self-belief in yourself, or you are getting there. So let me go back to what I mean by conviction. Conviction is this unwavering faith or belief in something, preferably yourself. Conviction is what propels you forward and towards your desired reality. When it comes to frequency and the vibes that you're putting out there, nothing is more important than your conviction. When you say something to yourself with conviction, with extreme faith, then you have the power to move mountains. And this is again a reference to Saturn's exaltation in Libra. Because even though we do not have the Sun's full power, behind us at this time, we have Saturn's resoluteness, his steadfastness, his deep knowing, and that this quality, this power, this powerness that is grounded in this power. Not powerness, power that is grounded in this deep self-trust is what keeps moving us forward during the darker months. So what are you absolutely convinced of? What is your absolute truth? What about yourself is immovable, unshakable, and beyond doubt? Hopefully you have conviction and self-trust. Hopefully there's something about you that you know is wonderful and unique and that is not up for debate. And hopefully you will realize that this season is going to open you up to greater conviction and greater self-belief. Thank you for watching again. Do remember to like and subscribe, and do leave a comment.